So today, we're going to be taking a look at the Hiboy DK1, which is an entry-level electric dirt bike for kids ages 3 to 10 years old. But more specifically, we're going to test not only the off-road capabilities of this dirt bike, but also conducting a range test to see if it can meet the claimed range of 13.7 miles. But if you like a general overview of the DK1, I did make a video going over the specs, pricing, and my initial impressions, and I've linked that video in the description. So now, let's get into the Hiboy DK1 Kids Electric Dirt Bike. So for the off-road testing, I took my daughter on local trails and dirt roads. I did want to take her to a track to test out the bike, but the closest track is over an hour away, and both times we're supposed to go, it started raining. So something you do have to keep in mind when taking this bike off-road is that this is not a competition-level electric dirt bike like the ones from KTM and Honda. This is an entry-level kids electric dirt bike that definitely leans more towards a toy than an off-road racing machine. Now, does that mean that it can't go off-road? Of course not. Actually, it goes off-road just fine, but you will have to keep your expectations at a realistic level. So like I mentioned earlier, I was able to take my daughter riding on some local riding spots, and she had an absolute blast riding around. And the best part is that since it's electric and silent, the bike has zero noise pollution, so no one came out to complain about her riding up and down the road. And to me, this is where a bike like this really shines. See, I have a gas-powered dirt bike, and there's nowhere for me to ride it within an hour of my house. But with the Hiboy, I was able to take my daughter to dirt roads and little riding areas with 5 to 10 minutes of my house, and I never worried about upsetting anyone because of excessive noise or destroying the trails. Anybody went by us would just smile, wave, and even a couple people asked about the bike. So on the first day of the range test, we decided to do all off-road, and unfortunately, it was insanely cold, so we were only able to put in about 8 miles and about 1,000 feet of climbing. And at the end of these 8 miles, their battery level still showed 3 out of 4 bars left. So I was hoping to do the whole range test off-road, but unfortunately, it kept raining a lot here in San Diego, and we even had historic rains that caused a lot of flooding. Due to this, once the rain subsided for a day or two, we kept the remaining testing around the town where we live in. So after a lot of riding, the Hiboy DK1 finally hit the red bar, and it started cutting the power, so we decided to call it quits on the range test. So after calculating all the rides, here's the results. The DK1 did a total of 15.4 miles with 1,190 feet of climbing, which exceeded the 13.7 range estimate on Hiboy's website by about 12%, or 1.7 miles. And of those miles, 8 miles of that was off-road and 7.4 on the street, with 11.6 miles being on power level 2 and 3.8 miles being on power level 3. And just for reference, my daughter weighs a little over 50 pounds, so your range can vary depending on your child's weight and riding conditions. So overall, I'm extremely impressed on the riding performance and range of the DK1. Like I said earlier, this is not an electric dirt bike that's intended to compete with the likes of electric dirt bikes from Honda and KTM that cost thousands of dollars more. This bike is intended to get your kid introduced into dirt biking without having to break the bank. And Hiboy has improved a lot of things on this version of the DK1 compared to the previous version. And for the price, which is $370 at the time of recording, I believe that this bike is a no-brainer for parents who want to get their kids into dirt biking without breaking the bank or upsetting the neighbors. But if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great one.